Welcome to Bemasol Health Initiatives. My name is John. I'd like to discuss with you an interesting topic which affects every one of us. The big secrets of remaining healthy and strong at 70 years and above, just as if you are 30 years old. This is anti-aging. Aging is inevitable, but becoming old and sickly at 60 or 70 is not good for anyone. If at that age you had become a health liability, then you can no longer become the blessing you desire to be, since good health required would have been lost. Do you realize that sooner or later you'll be old? The signs may actually have started manifesting gradually. These include gray hairs, loss of strength, impaired sight, dependency more on drugs for maintenance of your health, regular or frequent visits to the doctor, bone or joint pains, irregular menses, poor sexual libido, and many other signs. Are you not gradually getting old physiologically with these signs? If you do not know, you are. Some things in life are inevitable, and old age is one of them. It's very important to get prepared to have the best of that season of your life, unless you are not planning to live long enough to get to that level. Obviously, a lot of people step into old age unprepared. The poor preparation they made for that stage of life is costing them more than they bargained for in terms of living healthy and strong. This is the truth of the matter. Except you plan to die at middle age or before 60 years, you must give attention to the process of aging. Research has confirmed repeatedly that advancing age is a major risk factor for a number of chronic diseases in humans. This implies that the risk of contracting many human diseases increases with advancing age, and everyone who desires to live well and healthy at old age must pay attention to the aging process. The deleterious changes that occur as we grow old, the decline in organ functionalities and virility, are just inevitable. They must show up with time. In some people, these changes take effect as early as 35 years to 40 years of age. For the majority, it is around 50 years, while others' onset are magnified after 60 years. Some survive these changes for a long time by medical management, and others may not. If you could possibly retain the strength, virility, and functionality of your organs at 70, just as if you were 30 years old, you would definitely be happy and fulfilled. To you, it may appear difficult, but consider the super centenarians like Helen Hash, 107 years woman, Joe Newton, 107 years man, Richard Hoverton, 109 years, who are still active enough to drive around the city, going for shopping and even doing high-intensive exercises. They are not ready for the grave at all. Many, millions, who are 40 years younger than them have become victims of avoidable old age-related diseases due to their ignorance and lack of proper preparation for old age. When these uncomfortable evidences of old age start to take their toll on humans' health, the efforts required to checkmate them will cost almost 50 times the effort required to prevent them. At least we all know that prevention is better than cure. The financial implications and requirements to manage old age-related diseases are almost running into millions and grossly incomparable with the cost of prevention. What makes the matter worse is that these old age-related disorders have now taken much toll on our middle-age class. Statistics show that diseases like cancer, heart disorders, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, cataracts, high blood pressure, stroke, osteoporosis have become prevalent among many. Very much among a lot of people less than 50 years of age. Many deaths in the Nigerian population occur around the age of 50 years and are usually due to one of these avoidable pandemics. The World Health Organization, World Bank, and United Nations in their 2019 reports on global health places Nigeria at number 198 among 202 nations investigated on life expectancy. Nigeria is the third lowest on the list with a life expectancy of 55.2 years. I do not know of anyone who would love to join the statistics of those who died before 55 years. Many do not take cognizance of the real statistics, but events around us on a daily basis are actually pointing to the authenticity of these reports. In the last few years, if you could recall the people you knew who had died and take note of their ages and the cause of death, you'll be surprised at what you will discover. Many of them died of self-inflicted diseases, not deliberately, but ignorantly. They were not informed that certain mineral deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, and lifestyle predisposes them to develop old age-related disorders earlier than necessary, sometimes as early as 50 years of age. They were not informed that regular intake of certain food items, vitamins, proteins, fruits, mineral nutrients, and lifestyle changes are enough to induce an optimal expression of the genes in them that code for longevity. They do not know that their ability to live long and healthy is anchored upon providing for their body metabolic system certain nutrients and conditions conducive for the expression of the genes programmed in them to make them live long. In actual fact, they might have actually exposed their body systems to substances that have the ability to silence the genes for long life and good health. And this they have done for more than 10 or 20 years before the result popped up. The price they have to pay for this ignorance is systemic organ failure before they attain the age of 50 years or shortly after 60 years. The few days ahead of them may have to be spent running after doctors to help them maintain their health with drugs before they finally succumb. The cost of this maintenance also tells on their finances, and the much desired cures may never be attained, and in many cases were never attained. You may ask your doctor if there's a drug to cure cancer, high blood pressure, arthritis, cataract, diabetes, stroke, cardiovascular diseases, many heart-related disorders. The doctor will tell you there is none, but there are medications and methods to manage the diseases as much as possible, just to prolong life. Do not forget that the cost of that management, which guarantees no cure, is also very high, and I mean expensive. They will have to live on drugs, many of which have terrible side effects, like liver poisoning, faster aging, loss of strength, headaches, rapid graying of hairs, confinement to wheelchair, bad sight, and many more. All these unpleasant pathways to old age are 100% avoidable when you have the right understanding of what things and nutrients make our bodies work better, stronger, healthier, and productive till old age. The Holy Writ says the penalty for ignorance is untimely death or destruction. The only solution to ignorance is to go after knowledge and understanding. Wise men never despise knowledge, as they know for certain that it is the fountain of more wisdom. I was amazed while researching on anti-aging and old age-related disorders that almost everyone could live up to 90 years and above without what we refer to as old age-related diseases that now kill about 50% of our people at middle age. The evidences provided by scientific research globally which support this are overwhelming and are well documented and verifiable in research literatures. Our ignorance of them has kept us in the darkness of unnecessary sufferings. As soon as many of us steps above 50 years or 60 years of age, health problems start. Some people even said that God appointed us to live for 70 years, and anything after that is extra. It has become the standard by which they measure their own lifespan. They forgot that the Holy Writ has chronicles of people who, for one reason or the other, did not fall for old age disorders at middle age. The likes of Prophet Moses was very strong at 80 years when God called him. And the same was true of Caleb. It was King David that celebrated himself for dying at 70 years on a sickbed. I do not want that anyway. Everyone has a choice to make, which ultimately determines how long and how well we live. If you are very serious about living long and living well, there is a book you must read. You will soon discover a better version of yourself in terms of health and longevity. Usually, some very valuable things are very cheap because some paid the price for them. Imagine a book that could help a man understand how to live above 100 years in good health. A book that teaches how to beat cancer, heart disorders, arthritis, high blood pressure, cataract, stroke, and many other old age and lifestyle-related diseases. A book that teaches you practically what to do to build an immune system that is hard for the killer pandemics to penetrate. These disorders actually got millions of hard-earned money from the pockets of his victims. If these victims had discovered the secret codes of good health and longevity backed by scientific evidences, one can only imagine how much stress they would have saved themselves by the daily practice of these things and how happy they would have been even in their old age. I don't want to bore you with long stories. I could have taken more of your time to share with you scores of testimonies of those who gleaned knowledge from the book and have consequently recovered from pandemics that could have cut short their days. Not to mention those who have started living healthier and stronger with less visits to the hospital, just within 3 months of a changed lifestyle. Join the wise team of those who are proactive about their future and have decided to plan for a better one from now. Download the book now, Unlocking Your Longevity Codes. What you stand to gain are many. You become equipped from contracting cancers of any type. You build a strong immune system against diabetes, heart diseases, cardiovascular ailments, cataract, stroke, high blood pressure, etc. You can even live up to 90 years and above in good health. This is a cheap way to save tomorrow's health from today. Your knowledge is your power. The penalty for ignorance is death and destruction. Empower yourself for old age now. It will surely come. Download the book by clicking the button below or get the download link by sending SMS to our number or send your request to this email, bemasolngorders@gmail.com. I wish you long life. Thank you.